Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 210 for February the 2nd, 2024. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Hello.
And on my right by Neil.
Hello.
That's a very professional introduction then.
Yeah, gets the
Was it?
episode number in straight away. Look, then.
I know.
Yeah, I checked that. I checked that straight away earlier. Hello, how is everyone doing? Yes, we're here. Sorry, I wasn't here last week. Neil's. But is anyone doing the
Really
swear
interrupted me.
bingo? What's that to you?
Straight in there.
I don't even know if you made 30 seconds there.
I don't think so.
We should just start next time with you.
I am trying.
All right. Well, look, we're back for another show. Back like a bad penny. Should we just crack on then with the footy stuff? Let's throw Neil right in the deep end because he is. I can help you. I'll help you on this section if you like.
No, you don't.
I've been paying far too much attention to the fantasy football this week.
Have you indeed?
Yes. I don't know fucking why.
No. I wish I hadn't bothered, to be honest.
Oh my God. I wish fantasy football had stopped after the first day of games. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, anyway. I suppose I better give you a little roundup of the fixtures.
Neil's a bit
I just
grumpy.
literally woke up about 10 minutes ago. So I'm a bit groggy.
We could do footy at the end if you like.
No, it's fine. We'll get on with it. I didn't write a little spiel today, so I've got to do it off the cuff, as it were. So I've got the fixtures.
Oh, that's ruined it for everyone. They all thought you did it off the cuff.
Yep, it really is that organised normally. So, anyway, a run through of the fixtures, which started on Tuesday, the 30th of January. Only the second game week of January, I think this is. Anyway, Arsenal beat Forest at the Forest, plunging them in the mire a little, should we say. Fulham and Everton played out a 0-0 draw. Also on Tuesday, Luton Town 4, Brighton 0, which surprised a few people, including me.
We should start. We should just pause there for a second, right? Because that was tremendous.
It was.
I watched the highlights. It was just great. I'm telling you, man. I've believed from the start that Luton can do this.
Well, this was the first game. The reverse fixture was the first game of the season when we lost 4-1 at their place, and it looked like we were just going to go straight back down. So yeah, things have changed, you could say. Certainly, the last few weeks they've been playing much better. Actually, had more possession than of the opponents in several games recently, which is totally unheard of compared to earlier on in the season. So yeah, things are on the up. Hopefully, we're out of the relegation zone thanks to Everton's 10-point penalty, which they've appealed this week. So we'll see what happens with that.
But they've been given another 10-point.
No. They're still on the original 10 points, but they might have a change to that.
Overturned.
Well, who knows? Who knows? Well, they might just go, no, you fucking cheated. So you keep.
And now you've wasted our time. So here, have another 3 points off.
Yeah, maybe. But they have got another charge on top of that to come. So who knows what's going on with Everton? And then at Forest, obviously, I've been referred to as independent panel for punishment. But we'll see what happens there because they continue to spend money this transfer window, which was quite surprising. I thought, considering they were in the shit already. But there we go. So, on with the fixtures. Crystal Palace.
Sorry, I know I'm going to drive you fucking bonkers interrupting you. I'm bugging you. I don't get any pleasure from it, by the way. I was very fascinated when they said that was the first time Brighton had played at Luton in 40 years. I think it was something like that, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't hear. I haven't watched Is it on Match of the Day you watched? I haven't watched Match of the Day.
No, I think it was just some sort. I don't think it was I can't remember anyway. But I thought it was just very, very fascinating. Like they hadn't had that sort of clash for so long.
Well, the last time we were in the top league, I don't know where the hell Brighton were. Because they were like definitely not a top league club when Luton were previously. So that's been 30 years since Luton were in the top league. So We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably other teams that it's been even longer since we've played them in the top flight, or never.
I think it just illustrates the magic of that sort of divisional football, right? Where you can go up and down, whereas like it's sort of, I mean, that's unheard of. Like that's longer than Canada's been around.
Right. We're done now.
Come on, Sleepy.
To continue with the fixtures, this could be a long feature, otherwise we can't get on this. Crystal Palace won 3-2 against Sheffield United, and Newcastle smashed Villa 3-1 at Villa. On to Wednesday, Man City, unsurprisingly, continued to their winning streak, winning 3-1 at Burnley. Spurs came from behind to win 3-2 over Brentford at home. And then Liverpool absolutely battered Chelsea 4-1. Could have been a lot more if a certain Darwin Núñez had actually scored. Hit the first player to ever hit the woodwork 4 times in one match, including from the penalty spot. Guess who's got Darwin Núñez in their team?
Yes.
Frustrating, to say the least.
Well, he was on -2, but at least he did.
Yes, at least he got an assist to get 2 points. Yeah. On Thursday, the last 2 fixtures of the week, West Ham drew 1-1 with Bournemouth, and Wolves eventually lost 4-3 to Man United at home.
I actually watches that game.
They were 2-0 down. Wolves come back to be winning. Oh no, they come back to 2-2. Then United scored again. Then it was 3-3. Yeah, it was a bit of a ding dong. I think they scored in the 95th minute, Wolves or something, and then 2 minutes later, Man United got a winner.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a classic Premier League fixture. So that was the games. What will we do next? Talk about the actual fantasy football.
Sure.
So all that meant people who played their wild card, like me, might have done really well there if they'd played a good wild card. After Tuesday, I was on 0 points, but I'd only had one player play. And that player was for Brighton, who got smashed 4-0. He came off at half-time, so he only conceded 3 goals.
Imagine bringing in a Brighton defender against your own team. I mean, I guess that's that bittersweet thing you talked about, right? You know?
I didn't give a fuck, honestly. There we go, there's another one. Put the money in the jar. My wild card had gone right down the pan, but Luton won 4-0. So honestly, for FPL was the least of my worries. I was like, I really don't care. If I get 0 points for between now and the rest of the season and Luton win every game, I don't care. I'm going to be fucking absolutely fine. So
I can believe the latter, the former is never going to happen.
We'll see. I could just do loads of transfers and make sure I get no points. Right, onto the league then. There was quite a few good scores. I think I basically was 10 points worse off versus my pre-wildcard team than I would have been if I'd done nothing. So, but it's not just for 1 week, my wildcard. Obviously, it's got to be there for the rest of the season. If Darwin Núñez had scored...
Now you have to look at that team again and again.
Yeah, if Darwin Núñez had actually put the ball in the back of the net a few times, it would have been completely fine. But I had him anyway. He was in my pre-wildcard team as well. But yeah, it took out Saka, scores for the first time in
I
about
don't
10
understand why anybody took out Saka. I think Lewis said he had as well, but
yeah, he was just frustrated having all these expensive players that weren't doing anything.
They're going to do something though, aren't they? I mean, especially if they're getting 90 minutes every week. Like it's going to happen.
Anyway. Who was top scorer?
He's a surly old so-and-so today, isn't he?
Who's this? Matt Arnold, 78 points. Was that the top scorer in the week?
Could be.
I think it was. 78 for Matt Arnold. And then Pilch Reed with 70 points. And then, I think it's my wife in 64. Oh no, there's a 67 there for Chipper Spice. So, yeah, some few people who've not been regularly doing well, getting their points, big points last week. I'll tell you what didn't help my team. Same as my son. We both captained Erling Haaland, who came back from injury. But he came on for 12 minutes. Could have scored 2 goals if he was actually if he'd been playing, I think he would have scored at least 2. because he looked a bit rusty. He shanked one big star. He basically kicked one on his left foot, his favoured left foot, just outside the area, and it went about 5 yards almost behind him instead of towards the goal. It was like, wow. All of his teammates were laughing on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to be recalibrated.
Yeah. So that didn't.
I heard today he might be leaving. Is this true? He might be leaving.
Haaland?
Yeah. They say he doesn't like Manchester.
He's going to go to Real Madrid at some point, isn't
he? Yeah, I guess.
But they want Mbappe, so they can't afford both. Not in 1 year, anyway. Real Madrid, well, anyway, Spain, La Liga, they've got really tight financial controls. But Real Madrid just, it's Real Madrid, isn't it? They've got fucking endless money, basically, it seems.
Yeah, no financial controls.
Well, Barcelona are right up the shit creek with money. They can't afford. They have to keep selling rights to the things that are like 10 years away or something. Yeah. To make any money or something stupid.
God, I don't understand how these.
It's bonkers, mate. Yeah. They're all the same. If it's just. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not. Anyway, what do we do next? Top 3?
Well, let's say you see your boy there. I mean, he hasn't had the greatest of weeks, right? He's
still beat me.
Dropped. Yeah, he's still got a good lead. He's 60 points off the top. Kinzit and Suleiman there, they're firmly cemented up there in that sort of top 2 and 3. And then there's the load of scrubs underneath that. And I'm sorry to lump your wife in with the scrubs, but
it's definitely quite close.
Yeah, it's close. There's not much in it. And it's generally a strong league. I mean, we've got a lot of people in there. So it's a long way down the bottom there. I can't really see what's good. Dave, you're down there. What's happening? Let's move to our guy in the field. Dave, what's happening down there, please?
It's dark down here, Teresa. It's real dark.
Bless.
So, yeah.
Dave, you did
How's
worse
it going
than me.
down there? I don't.
Well, welcome to like the 30s and 40s averaging scores. I've got now no doubt that some of them haven't changed their team since they first set them up, but they're still sticking in there.
Oh, my daughter was one of those. She's like, I need on whatever day, because it was Newcastle game. But basically, she's like, I was looking at my team, she's looking at her team. She's like, I'm beating you, and I haven't done my team in weeks. And I was like, have you got then? She's got Fabian Schär, scores 2 goals for Newcastle. Hasn't scored in like a year and a half or something stupid.
Yeah, I know. There's somebody else up in the league who got him as well. I mean, you've got Dave. You should go. I see Anthony Clark is in there. I think he's a dead team now and falling fast. Jake Fisher might be a dead team. I'm not sure. He's falling. So yeah, you might get a bump there at the end, but really could do better, Dave. I mean, really, we need some improvement. I feel like we're too lenient, Neil. We need to start. We need penalties now on this.
It started off well, the head-to-heads. I was head-to-heads. I was like top 2 or 3, like for the first like 4 or 5 weeks.
Before any games kicked off on alphabetical order.
No. I genuinely started off quite well, and I just can't keep up with it. It's too. If it was a set time every week where it was definitely going to cut off, and I'd set an alarm.
It'll still be shit.
I'll still be shit, but at least like there'll be some weeks where I don't just completely forget about it, because there's like 2 weeks in like 3 days or something, and then
it's starting to get starting to heat up now, because we've got double game weeks, blank game weeks, all sorts of stuff coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Are you set up for this weekend yet, Dave?
I have, yes.
All right, good.
Yeah, I've captained Haaland.
Ooh, you don't want to do that.
He's playing Brentford.
Yeah.
If he plays.
He'll play, starting this week.
Yeah, you reckon?
I
the
think
problem
it's a
I
nice
had,
game for
another problem I had, is there was lots of changes towards the end of the window. I was doing lots of ins and outs, going, I'm going to put him in, and I'm going to take him out. And I actually had John Stones in my team for Man City at one point, after taking Kyle Walker out. Then I put Kyle Walker back in and left it, because I was like, John Stones coming back from injury, might not play.
He's not.
Kyle Walker's played every game for Man City. Obviously, the news about Kyle Walker came out that he's basically knocked up some other bird and had a kid with someone that's not his wife. He's got 2 families. And it was asked. Pep was asked about it. He's like, I'm not talking about that. He's the club captain. He's my captain. Blah blah blah. And then he doesn't fucking play, does he? So it's like stitched up big time there.
I knew you guys were calling him Serial Shagger,
Yeah.
or you call him Serial Shagger. I didn't know why. I guess that's why, right?
There you go. That's why.
Right.
Dirty boy.
All right. So anyway, we got back to a little bit of normality tomorrow, and we get at it again. You know what? Competition is fierce in the league. Oh, a big! Just have a shout out to the Americans. They absolutely rocked it this week. I guess if you're gonna, I suppose we talk about the head-to-head.
Quickly look at the head-to-head league.
Yeah.
Because yes, there were moves. My wife beat my son this week. I lost to Elusive Man. Luciano beat Christian Barkley, assuming.
There's an American victory.
Yeah. Chris Jackson lost to Gary DeFelice. Another American.
That's an American victory.
Chipper Spice beat Fraser.
That's an American victory.
Phil Taylor got beat by Mike Redmond.
That's an American victory.
Andy Cox played his wild card as well. Lost to Lewis.
Another American victory.
And the average beat Dave. Which means the standings are, my son is still top. Despite losing. He's only 7 points clear now of Lewis in second on 42. Mike Redmond's up to third, 40 points. My wife is joint with Fraser on 39.
Yeah, I'm dropping.
Yes, it's just 1 week, isn't it?
I think it was like 1 week set you down like 4.
I am now level with the average, who's on 30 points.
You're like a yo-yo.
I am up and down. Lots of red arrows on my teams this week, which means I went down in all my leagues. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, so this week we've got... If we got... My boys playing the average. Dave versus Andy, Lewis versus Phil, Mike Redmond versus Chipper Spice. Fraser, you're up against Chris Jackson. Defoe's up against Luciano. I'm up against the Forest boy Christian. And Elusive Man is playing my wife this week, so we'll see how that goes.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, there is some stuff going on with week 25. I think that Man City have got 2 games. Man City and Brentford have got 2 games. Man City both at home. Chelsea and Brentford, I think it is. Week 25, maybe Liverpool and Luton might be playing a game. They're missing because of week 26. There's the League Cup final, which means that Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs and Luton don't have Premier League fixtures in week 26. And then there's other fixtures that still need to be put in. We still need to get rearranged our Bournemouth game. There'll be, obviously, Liverpool, Chelsea, etc. will all need to make up the games they're not playing in 26. So, yeah, keep an eye out. Watch the fixtures. Opportunities to gain a lot of points.
Oh, here we come. I'm rubbing my hands in glory now because this is where we get to the points-making part of the season, right?
This is why I played my wild card, and that's like, it's all with that in mind.
This is your free hits and your wild cards and your bench boosts and your captains. These are when you want them now. It's to, if you can get them right on double game weeks.
Yep. That's why I put loads of Man City players in and my team, and the big ones, KDB, who's looked pretty good since he came back from injury. Yeah. Haaland looks... I saw a picture of him in training, and I was like... There's a picture of him in training, like doing like a left foot volley or something. It's like you just see muscles all down his left foot leg. I was like, the guy is a fucking unit. And then, like I said, he should have scored twice in his return, but he just fluffed.
He was born in... I didn't realise he was born in Leeds, yeah.
His dad played for Leeds and Man City.
Could have played for England. So he's going to play for Norway.
Yeah, why would you do that? Maybe it's because his dad's Norwegian, I don't know. I get thank you for the sub.
Yeah. But I mean, if your football is your life and you've got 10 years, why wouldn't you want to go play for England, right?
Imagine he was English.
Especially if it's a shoe-in. Like, you're going to get a game. He can't. If he's played for Norway, is it? He's done now. He can't.
He's played. It's not like, I can't remember what sport it is. If you don't play for someone for so long, you can just change. Is it rugby? You can just keep changing your nationality.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Yeah. Could have been English. Could have imagine that, Haaland and Kane. Oof. That would have been pretty good.
All right. Okay, we done with football then?
Oh, fuck knows. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, we're done with football. Right, let's move on then to what we've been doing. I should probably get the show notes up. That might help. Dave, you been up to anything?
Nah.
Do you have any listener stuff? Sorry, I've skipped it. This is why I need it. Did we?
The show notes are up, yeah.
Yeah, we have.
I don't know where the show notes
are you not connected to the internet there or something?
I am. Here we go. All right. Sorry, we'll come back to Dave. Dave, you haven't done anything anyway, have you?
Yeah, I went to London.
London town?
London.
All right. Sorry, we'll come back to that. Paul W. did send something in. Says, do you think young gamers of today will look back at games from today, perhaps 45 years from now, and see them as looking like a blocky Space Invader type game, or have games advanced too much for that to happen?
I assume this is in the nuclear wasteland. They'll be looking back, is it?
I can imagine young kids today looking back at games today and say, why are they so long? Like,
they don't play games like that. Kids don't play like the story games. They just play Fortnite and FIFA and fucking.
Do you reckon? Do you think it's just the old people playing?
They just play multiplayer social games. All the kids, Roblox, all that stuff nonsense.
Okay.
They don't play.
I mean, they
don't even play fucking Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that. Just like, no. Why would I want to just run around with like Spider-Man?
Yeah, there's no doubt things will have moved on, and anything today will look old. It's just the way of the world, isn't it? I mean,
Fortnite looks lame.
It's guaranteed. I think what will be interesting is, what will that content be like? What will be driving the creation of that content? I know everyone, oh my God, if I hear one more people going, oh my God, AI, we're doomed, it's the end of the world, I think I'm going to, to me, that's going to be an incredible tool for developers. They must know this, right? To have the machine developing shit on the fly or whatever, I mean, the possibilities are just endless and mind-boggling. We have no way of knowing look at VR, right? VR really is quite shit now. We all know it.
Well, no, Apple Vision's here now. You can spend your $3,500 and have the future today.
Like I said, VR is still quite shit, and we know it, right? I mean, it's fucking big pieces of plastic attached with shitty battery lives attached to your forehead, making you look like a
What
Muppet.
is the future then? Is it the Matrix? Like literally something plugging into your fucking brain or something?
Yeah, it's bigger but thinner slabs in front of your face.
Cheaper, lighter, better, faster.
It's a Kanye West song, is it? Sorry.
I don't know. Oh, don't, man, because I'm starting to get to know all that stuff now. My kids are playing music in my car all the time, and Kanye, Drake, The Weeknd.
Drake, he's just supermarket music. I heard someone say. Who was that? Mos Def. He was like, that's
he's
the stuff
Toronto's
you hear in the
biggest
supermarket.
export.
Yeah. He's doing better than most things from Toronto.
Yeah, he's a tool. Okay, thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. Friend of the show, Colin says, what's your favorite gaming console of all time and why? I think we've had this a few times before.
No, I don't know. We may have.
I think mine's the 360. I think we have. Mine's the 360. I think just that multiplayer aspect and how, which had already been introduced by Xbox before, but then the catalog of games and the 360 was just brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah.
I like my SNES on my N64 because I had a lot of friends locally that came around and we played games and spent multiple nights just staying up and playing games all night. So
yeah, SNES I definitely remember. Like that's like
Super Bomber, America,
late teens, early 20s. That was definitely a thing. Like going around to people's houses and doing stuff like.
I was a bit younger than you, so I was about like 12 to 14.
To be fair, like then it was PlayStation. Wasn't long after that. We definitely used to go around my mate's house and play a lot of PlayStations, multiplayers and stuff. It was more like couch social rather than like 360 was just like oh, now I don't have to go around my mate's house. We can just stay at home and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And the other games were good, but I don't know.
All right, pick one.
SNES for me.
Well, nothing
No,
Sega for me. I had a Sega Saturn, but I didn't like it.
You just pick one.
Oh
my God.
hard.
It's not. Just pick one. We'll get asked the question again. You can change it next time.
All right. 360.
Thank you. 2 360s and a SNES. Stroke N64. Dave chose 2. I don't know.
No, so I doubled down on SNES. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it.
Did like a SNES. You're in a hurry tonight or something?
No, I'm just driving where you. Well, I don't know. We're running a bit late. I can't remember why. Right. Let's move on to what we've been doing. Dave, been anywhere?
London.
Oh yeah.
London.
Wow. What was that like? Were you scared?
I love it. Although I did get the wrong tickets, I accidentally got the tickets from the train station to Camden Road.
Oh yeah.
Not what I thought was the tickets from to Camden Town.
Right.
What?
So London
Did you not
Road.
just get a travel card?
Look, I just booked it through trainline.com, and I accidentally put in Camden Road and not Camden Town. So basically, it was like, oh, you got
to get the bus then or something.
Transfer on a bus, and it's like, no, I just went through the underground and got to there. We're like, oh yeah, tickets aren't working. They looked at me, and went, yeah, that's not the right one. I was like, no, I'll just let you through. No, fine.
Well, I've obviously paid for a ticket.
Yeah.
So they were lovely. If you feign ignorance politely, and you
don't have to feign. You don't have to feign ignorance. You just talk to people and just be honest with them, and most people are all right. I think they have this misconception that everyone is a wanker. It's not true.
Yeah, well, we're just kind of.
You've been in Canada too long.
Sorry.
I'm a hopeless romantic and an optimist, I guess. Maybe that's Canadian in a nutshell, right?
But the people at the thing were very nice. They just put this through. It's fine. And then when I went through, I bought tickets. For the underground rather than getting on the bus. I can't be asked for buses in London.
The roads are not the place to be in London generally,
unless you're walking.
Unless you're walking.
But no, we had a really, really nice time. Lots of shops, bought some stuff, went into Cyberdog, which is like a big rave shop.
Rave shop?
A rave shop?
From like the 30 years ago?
What's a rave shop?
It's all UV and
Do you have to wear a white t-shirt to go in there? Is
that? No, it helps though. But no, it's really cool. It's a really cool. It's got banging music on. It's got a DJ on. It's quite crowded.
It's not really a shop.
It sounds like my basement. Most people.
But no, it was really cool. So we all got something from there, and then we just had a look around the shop.
What did you get?
I got a t-shirt. I'm not wearing it now.
Is it white?
But it's not white. It's black, but with some a logo on it that's white. That looks really cool.
Especially under UV lights.
I suppose. Well, I was there going. There was loads of really cool stuff, and it looked brilliant. And then you sort of took it out. I was like, that's all right. And I was like, when am I ever going to go to a place with UV lights now? It's just not going to happen. So yeah, like
Arnie says. I don't know why, but you're going to have to now. He says, "Don't talk about the bottom floor of Cyberdog."
Says, so don't go to the bottom floor. I can't because my daughter was with me, and it's over 18s. And we kind of looked at it and went, "Yeah, it's kind of kinky stuff." So yeah, it's
maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But no, went for something to eat. Went to a fantastic vegan restaurant. Because I can't have butter.
Go on, Neil.
I'm not saying it. It was too easy.
But actually, it's like
you like this when he goes, "We went to a fantastic vegan." I mean, I guess
it was. To be honest, it was probably the best Indian food I've ever had. Just ever.
It didn't have any chicken in it.
It looked, tasted, and felt like chicken when you was eating it. It's probably like
maybe it was actually chicken.
Could have been actual chicken. But the fact that it didn't have any, I didn't have a bad stomach afterwards. I wasn't sort of like 2 hours on the toilet after the fact. So
Does that normally happen when you
what
eat chicken?
if I have chicken tikka masala, which is cream based, and I had a naan as well, which is cooked in ghee.
So vegan
Okay.
won't have. Oh,
Yeah.
well, vegan won't have ghee then, or the butter,
No.
or the.
Yeah, it was perfect. It's awesome, and it was
And it was good.
fantastic, and it was
Yeah, fair
reasonable as
enough.
well.
Yeah.
My daughter had a cheesecake, and she
There was
actually
no
was
cheese
like,
though.
"Is this really a vegan cheesecake?" And like she asked the lady, "Yeah, no, there's nothing else." Like it
What?
was
They got a
so
nerve
good.
calling it cheesecake, honestly.
Well, you can't. Well, my dish was called butter chicken tikka masala, and
Right.
every single word of that shouldn't have been in a vegan restaurant, but it was. So, no, it was awesome. So yeah, and it was and it was reasonable. Actually, it was probably cheaper than other places we've been to in Northampton, and had vegan or
well, that is Northampton, so
yeah, it was awesome. Loved it. That was it really.
It's got electricity in Northampton.
And running water.
Dave's got all the electricity in Northampton.
So yeah, no, had a really good time. Yeah, is a lot going on. There is loads of food courts and stuff there. And some really random stuff. You get all the usual tat, the London tat that's down there, but there's actually like antiques and stuff down there as well. So it's nice.
Fraser wasn't there, was he?
Whoa, easy stuff.
No, it's a really good sort of place, and it was quite busy actually. It was busier than I thought.
It usually is in London everywhere.
Well, yeah, it is busy everywhere, but it was, it's not a massive space, and it was definitely waves of more touristy people. I think coaches drop people off there and probably circle the block like for an hour or
Twice.
two and then pick everybody up.
And that takes like 4 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was good. Very enjoyed it.
Good stuff.
And that's it. That's basically my week, really. Apart from gym, I don't want to talk about gym. It's boring. But no, it's that was it. Pretty boring.
What about you, Neil?
Not done a lot, but we did go to the quiz at the Boots. The Boots quiz was a few days late because the guy was been in Thailand, turns out.
Oh yeah,
on holiday, which sounds nice. But yeah, so we returned to the scene of the crime where we've won twice before, and we won again last night. Nice. This is the place where the losers of the quiz choose a specialist subject for the next quiz. And the losers of the previous quiz, I think, ducked out before they got a subject. But for some reason, we got told early on the specialist round was National Hunt Racing. And I was like, oh, fucking don't know that much about National Hunt Racing. So we did.
Off to Wikipedia we go.
We
quickly.
went. My wife was on her phone about half an hour before the quiz, going searching for stuff and like asking questions. She started chucking out these questions like, "Who won the 2022 Grand National?" I was like, "I don't fucking know." And she was like, "It's so and so," and then she rattled off a load more questions. Like she'd found basically a multi-choice quiz on the internet, and turns out when we get to the quiz, the guy who did the National Hunt Racing round used the same fucking quiz that we'd literally just checked on the internet about half an hour beforehand. So we got 10 out of 10 on the National Hunt Racing round. And people were like, "Do you know much about National Hunt Racing?" Like, nah, not really. It's just been lucky.
Well, sus.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, the daggers must have been out for you on that one.
Well, we won.
I think I'd have been brutally honest and said, "No, we literally just."
I wasn't talking to them. It was the table next door who we have to swap papers to mark the questions off. So we did get there was like a load of cartoon characters, like the sort of the pre-round where obviously like people getting their drinks before the quiz is ready. They give out the picture round kind of thing. There were 34 cartoon characters that you had to name, and we got 34 of them as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because kids. There was 2 that I didn't know, and my daughter knew them. So yeah, we smashed it basically, but we only won by 2.5 points, 3.5 points. So it's pretty tight. But
nice.
Yeah, another victory in the quiz.
Wow.
Can't remember what he said the specialist round was next time, but we did find out. But yeah, smashing the quiz again.
Living the dream.
Yeah, 150 quid this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we do spend quite a bit of money while we're there, because we usually
it
have
eases
dinner
the pain, doesn't it?
there. We
Right?
have dinner there, so yeah, if we win the quiz, it's just take a little bit off what we spend basically. They definitely did. We gave them their money's worth. Like they had a good bit out of us for the quiz night. So, but yeah, it's good fun.
All right. That
My
it?
boy was bored shitless because he only got 2 questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you tell him to get good?
Yeah.
Did you only
He was on his phone watching
his
because there was
Yeah.
fucking.
Can't imagine why you only got 2 questions. While he's on his phone, buried in his phone, watching
He was looking.
TikTok.
Yeah, he was watching. I think where he was keeping an eye on the Prem that was going on at the time. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Wolves Man United night. That one. So
Right,
that was
right.
kicking off. And I got some points in the 95th minute goal for Wolves rescued my game week slightly.
Was that Neto?
That was Neto scoring and Cunha with the assist, and I was like, "Thank fuck for that."
Nice.
But yeah.
All right.
That'd
That's
be
it?
that. Yeah, I ain't done fuck all.
All right. Since I've been on the show, I have been to Chicago. I had to go for work. I've been a few times. I like going to Chicago. It's a cool city.
Bit windy.
It's brutal, man. This time, I mean, I know. Yeah, I think every time I've been, the weather's been pretty full on. This time it was. We got there on the Monday. So when did we get there? I can't remember now. Sunday night we got there, and me and one of the guys I was traveling with, we went out straight away and went down downtown-ish for a walk. And it was just so cold, the wind coming off that lake. And then the next day we went out for dinner, and we came out and it was just like suddenly free. Oh, it was raining all day Tuesday. Then towards the end of the evening, that just turned to ice. So the whole place was like a skating rink. And on the Tuesday morning, I think it was the Tuesday morning, that was Monday night. Tuesday morning, I got up and I was like, you know what? I'm up early. I'm going to go for a walk. I looked outside. I was just like, if you want to break your neck and for a coffee, then be my guest, right? I just, no. So yeah, it was savage. Great visit. Very busy. Lots,
So
where
is that same time? I don't really know where Chicago is. That Midwest? They call that?
Yeah,
so
it's not. I guess they call it the Midwest. I think it's sort of almost directly. It's an hour and a half flight west of Toronto, so it's all part of. I can't remember. There's a name.
You're in a
for
different
it, but,
time zone.
Well, we're all sort of connected up here, right? You've got Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, Buffalo. All these big cities up around this sort of area. Pittsburgh, maybe Buffalo doesn't count, but huge industrial, and particularly Pittsburgh, Chicago, all that sort of stuff. I mean, that's real industrial America there. It's
well, Detroit used to be, but obviously they just got rid of all the car making companies.
Yeah, Detroit's suffering a little bit these days. I mean, the thing like Chicago is, I think Toronto is nearly as big as Chicago. I think it's just the next one behind it in terms of city sizes in North America. But if you come to Toronto, like the skyscraper, the architecture of Toronto, it's basically very, very, typical square or rectangular skyscrapers, and a lot of concrete too. Whereas if you go to Chicago, like the architect, it's a lot older, and from a lot of money, the architecture is just amazing in the center, right? It's a really nice place to visit.
It's being fucking freezing.
Yeah, don't visit in January. I don't recommend it at all. But yeah, it's cool. And then my son bought a PS5 as well, so that was cool. He's seeing the fruits of his working world now. So he went out and that was his first big purchase. So he went out and bought himself a PS5, which is fantastic because it means I don't have to buy a PS5 now.
Do they do PS5 games at the library?
They do. Yeah. Well, he was going to buy a digital version. He said, "Should I buy the digital version or should I buy the disc version?" I said, "Well, what's the price difference?" He's like, "Oh, it's about $100." I said, that's almost the cost of one game. And the library has games. So, for the sake of renting out one game, you're going to make that back almost straight away. So he bought the disc version, but he also subscribed to PS Plus straight away, the top tier of that. So we're just working through that. But yeah, nice.
He's done a year's PS Plus, has it?
No, I think he's just doing it monthly right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to can it after a month or two.
There's a lot of good games on there.
There are a lot of games on there. There are a lot of good games on there.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I loaded it up, played it for 2 seconds, and went, "Nah, I don't know." So, but
wow.
the problem, but look, yeah, I know, but look, just before you get your pitchfork out, I think it's just a case of, somebody has basically driven a truck up to my front door and just dumped a load of like absolute killer titles on my doorstep.
So you just won't play.
I definitely won't play them all, but I need to just when I've got so much. I'm going to talk about Returnal. This will segue into Returnal, which is the game I'm playing on it right now. That's where I'm playing it, right? I can't fire up God of War, Spider-Man. I can't have them all on the go, right? You need to scratch. And somebody was talking about Spider-Man 2 today, and they were saying, the first half an hour of it is pretty lame, but then once you get into the game side of it, right, then it's a fantastic experience. So I just need time.
Miles Morales, I think, is that on PS Plus?
That's on PS Plus, yeah.
Yeah, you can smash through that pretty quick. Miles Morales.
Yeah,
that's not very long.
Or is it? Yeah. So maybe I'll come to. So I've got lots of options to come to afterwards. So, but yeah, nice piece of kit. It is noisy. I was sitting there playing yesterday, and I was like, "What's that fucking noise in my living room now?" And then I realized it was good old PlayStation.
Mine's inside a cupboard now.
Yeah, I got to figure this one out. It is a big ass console too.
Mate, you've got this new one. You've got the new slim version. I got the OG fat boy one. It's like when the PS3 was like the George Foreman.
Yes, yeah, the George Foreman.
And then the PS3 Slim came out. I was like, oh, that's actually quite a nice looking console, the PS3 Slim.
PS3, then it's manageable too, right?
Yeah. But yeah, the PS5 is a fucking brute.
Yeah.
That makes the PS3 George Foreman look small.
Yeah, nice bit of kit though. I mean, it's nice to be back into this. I did have a good play on a PS5 not long ago, and I didn't really get into it. But now I've spent some time with it.
How'd you like that controller?
It's growing on me nicely. Thank you very much. Yeah. I am a little bit. I spend a lot of my time in some forums, and I see a lot of people talking right now bashing Xbox because of all their actions and what they're doing and how they're fucking everything up, basically. And I'm like, I try to sit there and fly the flag for Xbox, especially. But then, I've sat down with the PlayStation 5 for 2 weeks, or a week and a half or whatever it's been. And I'm like, yeah, no, what, I can't imagine being in that PS5 ecosystem and there being any, this is the problem, right? Give me a real solid reason why any kid in that PS5 universe should swap over to the Xbox. I just...
Game Pass is the only reason. But like I said, the kids don't care. Kids are fucking playing Fortnite and all that shit anyway. They buy a machine and they play free games.
Yeah.
Play Fortnite on it.
But yeah, it's nice. I like the and actually the UI. I don't think the Xbox's UI is that great, and I don't think the PlayStation 5 UI is that great. Fuck me if I can find a way to quickly turn the unit off. I'm sure there is a way, but it's not intuitive.
When you turn it off, that's why.
Again, it's convoluted trying to find game menus, trying to find your apps or what. I mean, it's once you know the way, it's all about number of memory button presses.
It's not PC, is it?
They're all shit, right? The problem is it's all these things are trying to be too many things to too many people, which is fine, whatever. I'm just trying to keep it simple for my poor old addled brain. But yeah, it's cool. It's all right. Yeah.
Right.
and I bought a TV.
Ah.
I wasn't going to tell you because I don't think it meets Neil's standards.
I don't know. I was looking at that. There was a picture in the Veteran Gamers Discord.
I was wondering whether you'd figure it out.
That looks like a better TV than a 1080p TV to me.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna buy a TV. I was, and then I wasn't, but all the time because so here's the story of the TV in my basement. I used to have this 55-inch TV there, which was I bought and loved, and then my son threw something at it and broke it, so I had to replace it. Because we had no money, I had to replace it with a 48-inch piece of shit, right? And this 48 piece of shit has looked at me for years. And it's been adequate if you had to watch something downstairs, right? But really, it's not been great. I just look at it all the time. I'm like, you're shit. I hate you.
That Xbox Series S is going to be pushing out some extra pixels now, is it?
Yeah, and so anyway, I relented and I bought this 4K 65-inch. It's a TCL, so it's not like a top name brand, but it was. They are all right. I was honestly, I was looking at like Samsungs and LGs, and I could got smaller ones for the same amount of money, but I was like, I want a 65-incher, right? I want the extra length. You know what I'm talking about, boys, right? And the guy is like, no, you don't want to get that, mate. What are you using it for? Gaming? Well, it's not 120 hertz. No, it's used to. You're wasting your time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I felt a bit deflated. And I was walking out. I went, you know what? Fuck this. Once it's in there, I'm not going to give a shit. Honestly, I've been, look at what it's replacing. And it costs like 400 quid, right? It's nothing. Well, it's not nothing, but I mean, it's really.
Comparatively, yeah.
You know, and my son's buying the PS5. I'm like, I'm gonna buy it. So we get down there, man. The PS5's up. We hung the 65-inch TV on the wall. Mate, I am over the moon. That basement now is where I need it to be. Right? I spent all week in there just looking at that screen. It's great. So
where did you get that background? What's that on?
I don't know.
You got your PC wired up to that?
Yeah, the PC's wired up. So there's been some connectivity issues. We've been working back and forth because my receiver won't pass 4K because it's an older receiver. So, but now I've bought new cables. I've got digital optical cables. So I'm running everything straight into the TV and then out, and then just a digital optical out to the receiver. So so it's basically just an amplifier now. It's not processing any of the video.
Is it? Oh yeah, your receiver's too old to have HDMI ARC thing on it. Is it?
Yeah, it doesn't have ARC, and it only runs HDMI 1.2.
Yeah, that ain't cutting it. That ain't cutting it these days.
2.1. So I ordered a bunch of extra long HDMI cables. I got an extra long digital optical cable. I'm running all those. So I'm now running everything into the TV. So we got 4K goodness. The Xbox Series S is turned on its back and gone, what the fuck are you doing to me? But yeah, it looks great, and I'm over the moon, and yeah, it's cool. I highly recommend it. Big TV. Well, I just need it for the space anyway. It's a nice big room, right? So
yeah,
makes all the difference.
Like it's weird, isn't it? Because like I mostly play on my PC. It's only a 27-inch screen, but it's literally like 2 feet away from me or whatever. 18 inches, 2 feet. And then I go to sit up on my sofa to a 55-inch TV and go, it's a bit small, isn't it? It's a bit too far away. Can't see, can't read that. It's too small.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I've already sat there watching the other day. I was just like, I was running some tests. So here's some really weird shit, right? So I load up Netflix, and then Netflix automatically has detected that I'm going to be outputting in 4K. So it goes, do you want to upgrade to 4K? It's off the PlayStation.
Right.
And it goes, you're running 4K. Do you want to upgrade to the 4K? It's an extra $5 a month. I'm like, no, you can go suck it. And then everything was blurry, like shit.
Rude.
And I'm like, I was talking to my son. I said, this looks worse, right? I was watching a movie yesterday. Now this looks worse. And I'm sure those wankers
downgraded you.
Throttle you straight away to make you think like that's a shit photo and you should
Maybe
upgrade.
It's the PS5 app. You must have a native app on the TV. Or is it no smart features?
Yeah, but then I'd have to attach my TV to the internet, and I don't want to do that.
Has it not got Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but I don't want to attach it to the internet. I want my TV just to be dumb. I just want it to sit there. I don't want it to talk to anything. I've got enough consoles that can do everything that I need them to do. So I don't need the TV to get involved.
Yeah, HDR.
But yeah, it's great.
HDR?
Yes.
Must be, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
HDR is the nuts.
Yeah. So I was sitting there watching, testing out Netflix, and I end up putting Dark Knight on. Next thing you know, my daughter comes and sits down. 2 hours later, we watched the whole movie. It was just awesome. Just awesome. Right. Just, I'm done. I'm down there. I love it now. Love it.
You don't actually go to bed anymore. You're like me. Just like, I'm just going to fall. I just like, watch this and wake up 6 hours later.
Because I was really worried I was going to have buyer's remorse. I was like, well, what if I get it? I know it's a cheaper TV. What if it's not going to look so great? You know, what if it ends up looking not much better?
It's just been a massive upgrade on the old TV, though.
Oh, it was just night and day. Yeah, night and day. So, yeah, it's cool. So I'm very pleased with that. You can buy
like richer sounds. Keep knocking. Like every time they do their inflation-busting mega deals, it's like there's like always an 85-inch TV for about 400 quid. I'm like, what the fuck? 400 quid for an 85-inch TV,
isn't it? I mean, that's the thing. I'm just looking at it, going, you know, if somebody showed me that TV like 15 years, 10
years ago in your bedroom.
Yeah, just outrageous, isn't it? And for 400 quid, it's bonkers. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Indeed.
So
just don't look at your electric bill.
That's right. You don't need heating anymore because the amount of heat that comes off it.
Yeah, I think this one's running. I don't think this one's running too bad. I think it's only pulling out 65 watts.
OLEDs definitely make like the heat.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because I have
they do burn through the watts.
I know there was one of the TVs I had, the LG LED one, or LCD. I can't remember. LCD. I used to put that on, and the room you'd know it was on, right? You're like, this room is getting hotter. Yeah. So.
It's like when playing Alan Wake, the PC's like, fucking hell, it's like 10 degrees warmer in this room.
Yeah, so that's cool. So very pleased with all that.
Good stuff.
All right, let's move on then to what we've been playing. Oh, my dog here. Oh, I'm the only one here. Let's move on then to what we've been playing. The relevance of me being the only one here is I gotta feed him. I have to feed the staff, right? Gotta pay the staff. Who's got games? Anybody want to start? And then I'll just nip off quickly while you get going.
Yeah. I'll start.
Well, I tell you what. Yeah, go ahead. Do your first game, Dave. I'll be back in 2 ticks.
Cool. So, I've picked up a game called the Universe. Oh God, I can't even say it. The Universim.
Universim.
The Universim. It's a god game. The best way I can describe it.
A Peter Molyneux style god game.
Like a Peter Molyneux style, like a Populous or a black. Well, it's similar to Black and White, but you don't control an avatar that's a giant pig or a goat or anything. You are just a god. You're just a god. You're a god that helps, but how can I say? It's really weird. You start on it's a planet. It's a planet-sized ball mass, and there are people on it, and they start at caveman, and you assist them throughout their progression, and you guide them through a tech tree on getting more complicated and finding more resources and dealing with threats. Both other civilizations on your planet or extraterrestrial or nature's threats against them. It's great. It's a brilliant little game. I've had my eye on it for a while, for a couple of years.
Access, or was this legit out?
This is early access. Well, it's come out of early access. It's in 1.0, and it got released into 1.0 in the last week or so. It's a really good. I love god games anyway. I've always had a sort of appetite for them, and it's just nice. You start off and it's locked down in that you can only choose one planet size. You can just choose the normal people. I don't know. They're called nuggets, people,
Right.
but it's just like a, I don't know, a cylinder with a head on it and like some arms that are yeah, it's very cutesy, I'd say, but that they all, you can put them into like farming or fishing, and you can assign them roles and stuff. And they've got hunger, they've got sleep requirements and water requirements, um, and then they can either find others of the opposite sex and make babies themselves, or you can encourage them to be
Ooh,
together.
sexy time.
And yeah, so you've got like loads of different powers. You've got electricity and to make it rain, earthquakes and meteors and
Well, you can deliberately cause like natural disasters.
yes, yeah, and that's you can, because either other nuggets are on your planet, or through some story events, nuggets break off into a different, like a separate society, so you can use their powers against them. So yeah, so I've put in how many hours of
It looks like you've been playing it a
about
lot, Dave. Like I say.
about 11 hours, so
No,
it's
that's
not
not
not a
bad. Not as
huge
bad as I
amount.
thought it would be, to be honest.
No, no, it's really good. It's one of those, oh, I'll just do one more thing game. But no, I've got I'm just hitting space age with my
So is it like Civilization? Not really. Not really
so it's
Civilization.
real time. Best way to describe it is it's real time, in that apart from pausing, the time just sort of moves on. You're encouraging and you're building. You're telling where the nuggets to build industries like wood, stone, mining, and then factories after that. When you're progressing through the tech tree, you can part of the tech tree is assigning nuggets to do that for you. So some games it's like endless tedium of micromanaging everything, but some of the progression of the actual tech tree is to remove that so you can focus on other things. So the nuggets themselves will decide when they're getting low on stone or iron or other resources, that they'll find a place to put those industries themselves. So yeah, it's the progression, the complexity has gone up, whereas the actual amount of things that you need to look after goes down. So yeah, it's good. It's
Looks
let's
like
say
well, from what we're watching on the video, it's like you've got like a planet. It doesn't look very big. The
no.
planet.
You
Can
start
you
with
like fly off to another planet and go or
there
something?
are other planets, yeah. So there
Or
is a
is
space
that just
age.
like a different game mode, or is that you literally travel there and
I believe you travel there and you set up a colony and you manage that, and you start to manage both. But by the time you're in that part of the tech tree, your home planet can pretty much look after itself. But yeah, then it's a case of setting it up. The first place you go to, I think, is the moon, and then you can go further. But yeah, there's a lot to it. I don't know if you can see the whole tech tree. There's
can't really
I don't
read
know,
anything? It's
uh,
too there's a lot going
yeah.
on there.
There's a couple of hundred things that you can research, and yeah, there is sort of regular story beats when you get to certain ages, or
Is
certain.
there a win condition then, or is it just
I believe so. Yes, there is a win condition, in that you get to the end of the tech tree, and when I first started up the game, I think it says something like you haven't completed the first story yet, and to do this you've got to unlock bigger planets and more complicated genetics for your nuggets. So you can give them different traits like being stronger or needing less water, but any trait that you give them or that they have offsets. Like they might need more food if they need less water, more food, or they might sleep more if they can carry more items. So yeah, it's I enjoy it. I love it. I'm going to be playing it a
It's
bit more.
pretty nice looking.
Yeah, I was meaning to play more XCOM and complete it on Iron Man this week, but I picked this up and that's got that thrown out the window. No.
Yeah, it looks
yeah.
like a lot to do.
Yeah.
How much was this?
This was. I think this was on sale, but it was like
introductory offer. No, it's not.
Is this Universim?
Universim.
Yes. I have to go back and listen to what you said, but yeah, that's on sale.
Generally favourable. I was saying I did look at this when it was first kind of released in early access on Steam a couple of years ago, and it's always been on my radar, but it's gone to 1.0, so out of early access now. So I was like, I'll pick it up. And yeah, very happy.
All right.
Good stuff.
Neil?
Played loads of Hunt again this week.
You're still in the Hunt zone?
Yes. Progressing the Battle Pass and all that. I'm not going to finish the Battle Pass. It's only on for another 10 days or something. I don't think I've got enough. Not that I've bought it either, but I haven't invested funds in it. But I've been unlocking some things lately, having a few good games. Pretty weak games today. I don't know. I wasn't in the mood, I don't think, to get aggro today. But it's been been playing a lot of solos recently, which I never used to do. And I'm becoming generally a bit more aggressive in the solos than I used to be. Like when I hear something going off as a solo now, I'm like, right, let's go and have a little look at that.
Yeah.
Whereas usually I'm like, I'll go the other way. But so yeah, I've been getting into a few scrapes, having a lot of fun games where killing the same person multiple times.
Oh yeah, I had some of that today.
Someone
me and this guy between us, I think, killed each other 9 times.
Wow.
Right? I was probably just 1 health bar off killing him, but he got the final one.
Nasty. Yeah,
it's good.
It was a couple of times. There was one got into I think there's been 3 solos in the same area. So it's been obviously whoever goes down first kind of thing. Then it's potential whoever kills the first person might not be the victor because there's another person running around who might actually know exactly where both of you are now.
Oh yeah, I feel like third party tonight.
And there was definitely one there's a couple of things you got so many tools and equipment things that you just never even investigate using. So there's a thing called what are they called? Decoy fuses or something.
Blank decoys.
Blank decoys is what I've been using.
Decoys.
So basically,
they are an essential tool for the odd solo run.
Yeah, so
for sure.
You basically throw something, and wherever it lands, it makes a gunshot noise.
There's the blank. Sorry, they're blank decoys.
Yeah, blank decoys. So there's decoy fuses that sound like you're throwing a stick of dynamite at somebody, and that might make them run away. But it's just literally like a thing that goes pop. But yeah, the blank decoys where you might be in an area of this, you're hidden basically. No one knows where you are, so you throw something 20 yards away. When it lands, it goes bang. Sounds like you've shot something. So they think. So hopefully they look that way and go, "Oh, there's someone over there," and then you take your moment. Then when their attention is diverted, to go and kill them. Because the other day there was one when there's 2 people in vicinity of a clue, the clue starts making a shitload of fucking noise. So everyone who's near the clue knows there's more than there's an enemy nearby, a human enemy. Or there's a couple of other things in the environment that when there's 2 opposing forces nearby of actual players, then they start making a shitload of noise. So when anyone is near it goes, right, okay, there's obviously someone around. So there's a load of cues that basically let you know that someone else is around. It's not a friend. And there was one. So I was about to get this clue the other day, and then it started fucking kicking off, and I was like, right, okay, so there's someone nearby. I don't know where they are. So I launched one of these decoy fuses, like a little ways away. And then I threw another one in a similar direction to make it sound like someone was maybe shooting.
Oh, you crafty old so-and-so.
And then I heard some footsteps to my left, and I was like, right, so okay, they'll know where they are. And so I had my crossbow, and I just like, that's like, you could hear them like creeping. So they're like, when they're crouched, you move really fucking slow. And so I just like stood up and then just ran around the corner and went flip, shot them with a crossbow, and it was like they shot me but they missed, and then like I hit them with the crossbow, and then short time later I heard the as they died from bleeding, and I was like, yes,
very satisfying.
So run around the corner, chuck a fusey bomb on their thing to make them start burning and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's solos. I was always intimidated to play solos, but it's actually if you play solos, it's fun. The same. It can be fun.
I used to just hate playing. The thought of playing solos used to just petrify me. Like and now I love it. And you have to play solos to train yourself better with the environmental sounds, your trigger distances to enemies and things like that. Once you've played a lot more solos, you can zip around the environment without triggering things. You just get a natural feel for staying off the radar for whatever. And I find now I can play and I don't even know what I've heard or I couldn't tell you what I heard, but I know someone's near. Like it's that I had that this morning. I was like, I don't know what I did. Someone's nearby. Like I just know now because the sound, something's been off with something.
I had one of those earlier today as well. I was running around, I was creeping around this area, and one of the things was started kicking off, and I was like, I could hear them run away. I was like, right, so it stopped going off, and I was like, right. But like, I didn't hear them like run away. And it was in one. So we were in like one of the zones, like I can't remember which one it was. But there's a lot of buildings around. Like, so I was like creeping around slowly. Both the bosses were being banished, and bounties had fucked off by the time I was creeping around and stuff. And I was just like, I swear they're still around here. I swear they're still around here. But I was creeping really quiet, just like creeping around. And I was like, did I just hear something then? And then like something whizzed past my ear. And I was like, right, yeah, I did fucking like run out of the way, and turn around, and like they shot a crossbow or something at me or something. I was like, right, there is someone there at that window. And I was like, aim at the window, bang, one shot, hit them, didn't fucking kill them. And I was like, just ran around the corner, like recovered, put my regen shots in. Regen shots are new. They're a new, well, they're not new, but they're a new thing that I'm using. So you take a syringe and it keeps your health regenerating for like 10 minutes. So every time you take damage, all your health just starts regenerating again.
Yeah, that's a must now for the aggro player for sure. As soon as you get into a fight and get damaged, use your regen shot, and then you can carry on the fight.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many things that I've played. Coming up 500 hours now. That's nothing compared to you lot. But there's still things I've never used in that game. And I'm just like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to give this a go now. It's just
yeah, you're constantly learning. The one
ridiculous amounts of varying gameplay types. And
yeah, the one new one I'm doing now is as a solo. Sometimes I'm like the 4th tool slot. I'm like, I don't really know what I want to take, and I'm taking choke bombs now. You're like, well, why would you take choke bombs as a solo? And it's because if you get into a scrap or don't know where someone is, there's nothing almost better than choke bongs. Choke bongs. Why are you taking choke bongs, Fraser? Because even though they don't physically really impede anyone, anybody who comes near and starts coughing gives their position away, right? Yeah. So sometimes they can be really good for helping you. You know, if you've got 2 angles to hold, you can throw a choke bomb through one and just hold the other angle. You know.
So they stay around for ages, don't they, as well?
And they stay around for
ages. You can't get rid of them. That's the thing. Like flames, people can throw a choke bomb and put the flames out or whatever, but yeah. The flames die out relatively quickly unless there's like a fuel source, like a massive load of oil on the floor or whatever.
Firebombs will last a good 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. Back in big way, in a big way.
Yeah.
So been playing like
Have some
20 hours a week, roughly at
yeah,
least.
have some runs. Well, I saw you on last night, and I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I should go play, but I couldn't, man. I was in the zone.
Which
Should I
is
talk about my game?
Go on then.
The Returnal Zone. So I've tried a few games on PlayStation Plus. Actually, I just run through what. So my son loaded up. Oh shit, what's it called? The one with all the big monsters. Sequel to Ico.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus, yeah, which
Is that a
looks
sequel?
great. Spiritual successor. Is that all right?
I don't know, to be honest. I've not played either. I
It's not a
played
sequel.
Eco a bit, but I was like,
You never played Shadow of the Colossus?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, mate, what? What?
No?
Yeah, you should go in and give that a go for
Is
sure.
that on
That's a
PS Plus?
tremendous game.
Is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
the
yeah.
Is this the remaster remake?
It's the
thing?
remaster, yeah. It looked great. My son was just straight in, killed the first boss without even
So,
blinking.
it's because he's Dark Souls boy now.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway, that looked pretty good. Ratchet and Clank I tried, which seems pretty cool. I might go back to that.
I played a bit of that, and I was a bit like, after a while, I was like, yeah, it's great, but it's not really my cup of tea.
It's more Ratchet and Clank, and it's like, I don't think the problem is as well. I played it after Returnal, and it was like it was like cutting a knife through butter. It felt like, yeah. So anyway, so we're trying a few things. Anyway, so Returnal has always been on my radar. I'd heard about it back in the day when it came out, and I thought that sounds like something I'd like to play. And then I loaded it up, and I also had a bit of worry. I thought, I wonder if this is going to disappoint like most games do, and it's just another roguelike that I won't really like. But lo and behold, I have not been able to stop thinking about Returnal for most of the week. I think I'm probably a good 13 or 14 hours into it, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for me,
that's a good stretch.
It's a good chunk. Now I know you'd played it before, Neil.
Yeah.
And
I think I got to one of the bosses, and I was just like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, I went back and listened to the episode last night because I wanted to hear what you had said about it, and it turns out you had got to the exact same point I had got to when I was listening to the episode last night. So, anyway, Returnal is basically you, a lady astronaut. You crash on a planet. You don't know what's going on. You start going through these sections. It's almost like it reminds me a lot of Metroid, actually. You know, you go through sections, right? And each section, there are things to kill or things to explore, pick up, find, or whatever. And then you go into another section or whatever. And then something kills you eventually because you're shit. And then everything resets and you're back at your ship. And then you leave the area. Yeah, you leave the area where your ship. It is cool. You leave the area where your ship is, and next thing you know, you go into the next area, and it's completely different. And you're like, "What's going on here?" And you go through, and you pick up stuff or whatever, and then you get killed, and you restart again. So anyway, I did that for a good 4 hours, I think, and I felt like it was breaking me. I was like, I don't feel like I'm making progress here. Like, I guess I am, but I wasn't too sure. Anyway, then I came back to it a couple of days ago and I thought, you know what? Let's really try and survive, Fraser. Come on, show this game some respect. Because I think what I was doing was I was just trying to fight everything. Let's go in and just fight everything, and then I died. And I was like, okay, well, I'll be a little bit tougher next time, and I'll beat them. And I'd go in and I'd fight them, and I would get killed. And the next time I went in, I started really paying attention to the weapons. I started backtracking. When I had something ahead of me that I thought could be dealt with a better weapon, and I went back and changed the weapon at a change point. I was much more careful. Every time I went into a section, I was managing the enemies much better, right? I was like, okay, just be careful. Just going into areas and being careful. And just like, okay, here's
You've been watching your boy play Elden Ring, isn't it?
I haven't, but I was just realizing that I might be stuck here. You know, I could see another 10 hours of my life and still no progress. And I was like, I got to sort this out. And I think effectively what I did was I gave the game some respect, which it deserved or wanted, you know. And then suddenly, boom, I made tons of progress. And then got to that got to that boss. I think his name's Thrine or something. I think it is. Or whatever.
It's been a long time since I played.
I'll know the name off by heart right now because it sits there in the corner. You need to defeat. That's my objective: is defeat him. And I got him to, and the same as you, I got him to the 3rd stage and he killed me, right? So I just need to go back and fight him again. I know I can beat him, so he's not a big problem. The problem is it takes a while to get to him,
Yeah.
you know, because you've died, you got to go back and do another run. That being said, and this is a slight spoiler, so if you plan on playing it or whatever, but I found this thing and it said it needs a ton of ether, which is one of these pickups, whatever, that are rare, but you find them, right? And I tried it, and it gives you it's basically a regen, I don't know what's it.
It's like
It respawns you. It's a single respawn point.
Like
So
in Rogue Legacy when you keep the map the same.
No, it's if you die, it sends you back there, and you get to, and it,
It's
and
in
it
the
basically,
same layout.
it's an extra life
Right.
in effect, right? So if you die, then it sends you back there, and you can start again.
Is that the whole Returnal thing?
I think the whole Returnal thing is just you returning back to the start of the game every
You
time
die
you
and
play.
literally you start and it's a completely new thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Not this innovative.
You've got to break.
No.
I guess the idea is when you finish the game, you'll have broken. It's like Groundhog Day, but you'll have broken it,
Right.
and like you'll
Okay.
escape, I assume, or something like that at the end.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, what's great anyway. So I have made progress, and like I now, because you're doing this thing over and over again, and I've got to get to the boss. I'm basically can now almost boss this first section. So I'm just I say that almost rampaging.
But the thing,
through
the map
again.
changes every time, doesn't it? Like
the map changes every time, but
have you found the house?
Yeah, I found the house, got the key.
And it
got
starts
all that
gets
sort of
weird
stuff,
and like, ooh, this is a bit
yeah.
weird.
I mean, it's
There's
all
lots of
sorts.
weird
I mean,
stuff in
yeah, the production value is tremendous. It's really cool. I love the gunplay. It's almost Halo-esque in its gunplay. You know, the weapons feel very satisfying. I found weapons that I like. The dodge mechanic is good, and I've settled into the controller life, playing with the controller. It's not ideal, but it's got aim assist or whatever, and the more I play, the better I'm getting at it.
This is coming to PC, or it's not on PC?
It's on PC already. Yeah.
Is it? Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've just got to go back and I got to kill this guy and progress. But it's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. Now, I have to manage my time with it. Like if you do a couple of runs, I'm like, that's all I can do, because I can feel the frustration coming, and that's a game killer, right? So I will probably do a run. My runs right now are probably at least half an hour, because I've progressed far enough to stay in the game for a bit longer.
I think I said something like, if it was just a normal game, I think it would be, but I would prefer it. If it was just like a game that you died and you just continued from where you died, then that would be, I'd be like, that would be fine. It's not me. But like the roguelike thing where you have to literally start again, it's like, after a while, it's like, fuck. Like Hades, I loved Hades for the action and everything, but there come a point where you're just like, I can't be fucking asked to keep dying anymore.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is how well can they manage that? Like, can they keep that? I don't know. It's interesting to play it and look at it and think, how did they design this? How did they take this into account? You know, how have they balanced this? And is it good? Is it the best it could be? I'm not sure, but it is what it is. And I seem to have, I mean, I was close to giving up. No, I wasn't close to giving up. I was very frustrated. I was you.
That's definitely I'm going to turn this off right now before I punch this TV.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd do. I don't have any time for these things.
No, there was a couple of times where I got killed, and I was just, I'm not saying I threw the controller. I just, sort of just, I tend to just like,
you know how much I
dump the controller. I don't throw the controller. I just sort of dump it out, just like fuck, and just dump it out off just get that controller away from me, right? There are a couple of moments like that, but again, like the progress I made yesterday, just it reignited me, and yeah, it's good. It's great. It's really good. Very satisfying when you make progress anyway.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it.
Maybe I should.
But I feel like it's Dark Souls. I feel like it's Dark Souls, probably, but with guns, right? It's Halo Dark Souls or something. I don't know.
It's the rogue part of it is the thing that annoys me.
I could see there might be difficulty if you were to leave this and come back to it.
Yeah, I
I
can't
feel like
imagine going back to it now. I'm just like,
No,
yeah, maybe
I
I should
feel
go back to it. I was like, that's not going to be good, is it?
I need to keep the momentum of being able to fight. Like I'm managing fights of like it's like going out solo on hunt. There's one door and it was like, if you go in here, it said, if you go in here, you cannot come out until you've beaten all the enemies in here. I was like, whatever, come on, fuck, let's go. And I just walked straight in, and it wasn't easy, but I did it, right? Managed
You're the man.
to do
You're
it.
the man.
I'm the man. So yeah, it's great, really good. And I keep finding the bodies, the cleansing bodies, right? So people, it's like you see the ghosts of other players who have died, and so you'll be into a spot, and it'll say we found a trace of a body, and then you go investigate it, and it will say, do you want to just scavenge this body, or do you want to cleanse it or avenge it? I think avenge it, right? Scavenge it or avenge it. And if you scavenge it, then you're a piece of shit, right? And you deserve everything you get. But whatever. Sometimes you got to scavenge. But also, like when you start the game, you find these people in there. If you say you're going to avenge it, then some very nasty thing grows out of
the
that
thing
body.
that killed that body, that person.
Yeah, you have to kill it. You have to fight it now, right?
Right.
And at the start of the game, they are nails, but now I'll take them on, right? So I'm sure I'm going to go into the next area and I'm going to get my ass kicked when I finally make it through. I got to beat this guy, but yeah, it's cool, and you can co-op as well.
Okay.
So yes. Oh, by the way, if you want my PlayStation tag is Fraser Moo.
Fraser Moo. Oh,
yeah.
One word.
All one word.
You're putting that out there.
Sure, why not?
I never guess what mine is.
Accepting the friend request. It's the real Kahuna. But I looked up the real Kahuna.
It's not got.
Or is it just real?
Yeah,
real Kahuna. No, I think I looked up real Kahuna. It said you hadn't been online for about 6 months.
Because I hide my online status, like you do on Steam and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I started doing that. I don't know. I'm just always offline.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, so that's Returnal. Right, Dave, you got anything else?
I do. I've been playing some more XCOM 2. I was saying when I was playing University, like I was hoping
been a busy
to finish
boy this week, Dave.
Yeah, I was trying to finish my XCOM 2 Iron Man run. But I didn't get around to it because I got.
Are you going to talk about this for long or not?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the next one. It was an honourable mention of a game that I've been playing a little bit, but then the other game, Power World. I don't know if anybody's heard of this game.
Apparently 12 million people have played this. 7 million on Steam or something, and 5 million on Game Pass.
Averaging more than 2 million
Is it still insanely popular?
Still insanely popular. It's quite a deep game. There's quite a lot to it. And it's got its base building and animal cruelty. So, what's not to love?
Animal cruelty? Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's good. I've been playing a little bit with my daughter. Mainly just shooting chickens in the face.
Nice. Fucking chickens, they deserve it. Are they vegan chickens or real chickens?
Well, they're more like cylindrical chickens, so they're good at like killing and then using as a football.
You can kill. They kill for you. Can you empower them to kill for you?
You can.
Can you have an army of chickens? I reckon that'd be pretty vicious.
You can have an army of chickens. You can even have an army of. Well, I'm not sure if you can have an army. You can have giant chickens. Some of them are shinies, and they're extra big. Yeah.
If you were not playing this with your daughter, would you be giving it a second look?
Not with the games that I'm playing at the moment. No. It's the co-op fun that I'm having with my daughter that's keeping me in with it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good game though. I'm gonna there's what I played with it single player, which was like 5 or 6 hours. I absolutely loved.
What? Mark's in the chat says it costs $6.5 million to make. This game.
What? Oh right,
Power,
okay.
Power World.
Oh.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Where can they've made their money back though?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they can quantify how much it costs to make, because
They
it
haven't
does
had the
sit on the
legal
back
costs
of.
in yet.
It does sit on the back of the other Craftopia, which is quite similar. It's not exactly the same.
Is it
But-
related to it then?
Yeah, they're
It's the
same developer.
same developer.
Oh,
You can definitely see the similarities between the games. But then
That was on Game Pass as well, wasn't it?
what? Power World?
Craftopia. Craftopia was on
Craftopia.
Game Pass
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I played it on Game Pass. Yeah, that was right. It was okay. It was that game was. Don't know. It's trying more to be Ark than anything else. But
Isn't this a similar thing there?
this is basically
Isn't it, instead
Craftopia
of dinosaurs, you've got Pokemon. Oh, I mean, not
Yeah.
Pokemon, pals.
Digimon.
No one knows what Digimon are.
It's the westernized Pokemon. That's what Digimon are. Yeah, no, I love it, enjoying it. It's a great game. If anybody else you know is playing it, like jump in with them, because it's on Game Pass. You
I'm
both
not
got
playing.
Game Pass.
I fired it up, but I'm not interested.
It's not Enshrouded, is
No.
it? Enshrouded is the one that's got my attention. Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
playing it,
everyone
so.
seems to be playing. Well, people were talking about Power World briefly, and then Enshrouded seems to be.
Enshrouded
Anyone
looks
playing
like
that?
the Valheim.
No one's played it here yet, though, have
No,
they?
not of us. Not of us.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I know there was talk of a server being.
There is a
put up,
server.
and There's a server.
Seals VG podcast. OC
Inclusive
podcast.
server.
Yeah, inclusive server. Depot's got the
Yeah.
details. If you don't,
Yeah. So I do want to pick up Enshrouded. Apparently, it's a better version of Valheim.
yeah, I'd like, but
Valheim?
more polished. I don't know about better.
No.
Don't know
Alright.
how finished it is. I'm not sure. I want to get like I played. But we played Valheim a lot. Me and you, Dave.
Yes.
Fraser could come on and just
You know what I did.
piggybacked it. But
I have no shame. For anybody who doesn't know, I let everybody do all the work, and then I just came in for the final boss fight and took the
and
glory.
fucked it all up because there was too many people. It was just an absolute shit show.
Yeah, we still killed him.
It was
For
like
her.
less than 1 frame per second at times. It felt like.
I know I was sitting back and I was trying to commentate on everything that was happening, so I think I was getting a few more frames because I was a bit further back than everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Valheim was neat. That was fun.
It was a moment in time, and Valheim's that was like what 2 and a bit years ago, maybe more than more, maybe 3.
Yeah, it's got to have been. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I can. Don't know if I can do that again. I don't know if I can plant turnips for that many hours again.
No, it was too much of a time sink for me to play. But
I've got
yeah, I
Hunt
could
that
see
we're
how
doing
people
now.
could get
That was
into it.
pre-Hunt, so
Well, I mean, it was always, there was always something else, whether it was Valorant or what year was that? 2021. It looks
21,
like
yeah.
March.
Very
Yeah,
nearly
exactly.
3 years.
3 years ago. Yeah.
I mean that's had lots of stuff happen to it since I stopped playing, but I haven't gone back to it. But I think
Yeah.
probably Valheim's time in the sun has passed, and Enshrouded is the new thing.
Perhaps
People are into that. are
the
gonna
Valheim
play.
guys, I'm sure, are not going to be going hungry.
No,
All right. Okay. Well, that's
So-
Power World then,
Mhm.
and Enshrouded. What else you got, Neil?
okay. I finished a game.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yes. How many games have I finished this year? 1.
I have no idea. It's
I don't know. The longest video game title in history game. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. I finished. It's an old school Yakuza game with a new name. Still the same guy, Kiryu Kazuma, the main character. Not Ichiban, who's the new Like a Dragon guy. Who's it? Like both of them are in.
it's not
Infinite Wealth.
Ichi. I thought
No,
he
no,
was
no.
the main guy in this.
No. This is Kiryu.
Ichibum.
So yeah, old school brawling and hostessing and whatever. I don't do the hostess shit. But yeah, there's a Sega Master System in this game, which I played a few games of. Alex Kidd, I don't know if you've played
Alex
that.
Kidd. Love it.
I didn't play Alex Kidd. I played.
Aw.
There's a game that looks a lot like Space Harrier that's not Space Harrier. But anyway, yeah, I didn't really play that too much. I just did that for an achievement. Played like 5 games. I was like, no, I ain't playing these games. These are shit. Apparently it's got one of the best emulation versions of Virtua Fighter 2 in the game on the arcades. It's got Daytona 2. Or maybe it's Daytona 2 is the best version that you can play. Anyway, there's loads of all that nonsense retro stuff in there that you can play if you want. There is a trial version of Infinite Wealth in this game, which I might play, which is the new Like a Dragon game with Ichiban. But yeah, so this is Kiryu, and it's real-time fighting, and it's a shorter Yakuza game, but I still managed to play it for, I don't know, about 30, 40 hours.
Oh, wow. Because you only started it about 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I've played a lot of it. Because the fighting in those old games is still fun. There's a new stuff in it. There's your agent mode, where you've got like a fucking lasso, or you bring drones in and throw explosive cigarettes and stuff. And there is loads and loads. Like, you could play this for hundreds of hours if you wanted to. There's all the hostess nonsense in there, which I didn't bother with at all, because that does not appeal to me at all. I've done a load of karaoke though, which is like rhythm action game basically.
Right.
But I've got one song stuck in my head. Like, it's all in Japanese. I have no idea what it's about. Because I'm just looking at the buttons like tap, 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 tap. But I played it so many times because you had to get so many points to do one of the things. I was like, I didn't get that. I didn't get it done. I was like, fuck this. I can't do this anymore. But yeah, like...
my God. Can I just tell you something before I forget? So I went out with my daughter on Saturday. She wanted to go downtown. I wanted a day out with her because I'd been away. So we went downtown, we went shopping, whatever, went for lunch. And then on the way back, we stopped at the arcade. Blah, yada, yada, played some stuff. I can tell you about all the games we played, but don't worry about that. But the one game I should tell you that my daughter got me to play was Dance Dance Revolution.
You played it.
Oh my God. No, as soon as it started, I mean, it was like, this is borderline dangerous. Not only am I hopelessly
Can you
shite
not hold on to the barriers? They like hold on to it.
They didn't really have any barrier. I think they had maybe one that you could hold on behind, but that wasn't the issue. The issue is my knees are not meant to bend in all these different ways like that. No,
it's like doing Twister, but fast.
Yeah, and it was so horrendously bad at it.
Yeah. Well, all I'm doing is pressing like 4 buttons on a joypad, so on the karaoke. But yeah, look, there's loads of stuff in these games. I didn't do any of the pocket circuit racing that you can do, like the remote controlled car bollocks. I didn't do hardly any of that. I just focused on doing the beating the shit out of people part of the game.
Is that the bit you like?
The brawling is great in these games.
Is it? Because I've been taken by it, and I don't know why.
Once you start, when you get up the abilities and you unlock more powerful moves and stuff. The animations when you like go into heat mode or whatever and just like grab someone and smash their face into the pavement and fucking all that sort of stuff, it's just brutal. It's funny, but I just find something about the combat I do like. It's not Batman, but you know, it's still satisfying.
Yeah, is this on Game Pass?
No, yeah, this is on Game Pass. I think like Yakuza's from 0 to 6, I think, are on Game Pass. Like a Dragon, the original, is on Game Pass. Yakuza Like a Dragon with Ichiban, and this one, which is sort of like a prequel, I think, to Infinite Wealth. I would say this is. It's like the end of. Well, it's not really the end. It's like the last main Kiryu campaign, and it's like the new game is him passing the torch on to Ichiban.
You could be making any of this up, and it would make no difference to me. Yeah. I'm so lost on it. Well, I have no idea. I haven't played enough. But I really enjoyed. Yeah, and see when you talk about it, and you're like, the animations and stuff like that, and the bonkersness of it all.
There's loads of story. I really enjoyed the story. Like, I'm sitting back at times, like you're sitting there for like 10 minutes watching a cutscene sometimes, and just like you can like press skip to go through the stuff if you really want. But I like so the story is part of that's the game. I like the Japanese crime mafia story. It's cool.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. The fact is, it's such. I know that it's a series that is so.
I've missed loads of them. I haven't played 3 to 6. I haven't played.
It's a different use of the word polished. So it is. It is a polished game, but it's polished as well from another viewpoint of just like the characters. The characters are so well done. The way they present the characters, the way they.
It's very stilted at times. I have to say, like, some of the cutscenes are like, it's awkward almost at times. But I'm reading the dialogue, so I'm not always watching like the animations and stuff that's going on because I'm not playing in English. I'm playing in Japanese, so I'm reading the subtitles.
Is there anything else like it out there?
I don't know. Like, in terms of all of the bullshit that can sidetrack you, it is Grand Theft Auto style. Like, you can fucking go and do all this other bollocks that isn't the story.
Yeah. But it's not as open worldy as that.
It's not a huge open world like GTA. It's a very focused, compressed. And if you watch what's going on in the world, you're like, oh, there's the amount of times I've been running down the street, like off to like whatever fucking thing I'm supposed to do, and I'll see a scrap ahead of me, and then I'll randomly notice that there's 2 guys that look exactly the same walking down the street next to each other. I'm like, that's funny because there's there's obviously only so many character models, and occasionally there'll be like 2 or 3 of the same dude walking around. So it's not like is it AAA? I'm not sure it's AAA, but fuck it, I like the stories. I like the stories. Yeah. It's like I like that whole, like I say, the Japanese crime mafia stuff is cool.
Yeah, it is.
And I like the city. There's 2 basically locations that have managed to span like fucking 10 games or something stupid, and they look the cities themselves look great. The characters, the character models, not necessarily they're definitely not AAA, but they're the best they've ever looked, I'd say, but it's not the best you can see of anything. But yeah, I love having fights in this game. I don't know if it's the sound or what. Every game keeps throwing new stuff into the fighting stuff. There's a whole area of this game called the Colosseum where you literally just have to. You get a squad together, so you can have like this huge fight. Like you have to almost like. You're fighting in real time, brawling, and also have a group of people that you can command at the same time, which I haven't really bothered too much with. I got to a certain point that I needed to do to progress the story, and I did a few of it. I do love the fight. I just love the one-on-one. Like you go in, and there's like 50 dudes that you've got to beat the shit out of, and you can, and it's fucking great for that. So I don't know. You'll either like these games or you don't, I think. I don't know. But I love it.
Yeah. I've had a good couple of years break since the last one I played, so.
But yeah, so like story-wise, there's tons of stuff I've missed, but I've kind of sort of absorbed somehow. I know just by playing the games, bits of the games, I'm like, I kind of know what happens like Kiryu's overarching story. But yeah, I know he's in Infinite Wealth, which is the new turn-based Like a Dragon game. But yeah, there's loads of stupid things in it, like there always is. But just batshit. Fucking like, what the hell? I haven't had any guys in nappies in this game. But,
not yet.
Well,
needs more nappies.
Maybe, but there's tons of like side quests, and you've got to eat at all the restaurants to tick all the boxes if you want to do that, and all that sort of stuff. If you want to get all the achievements, I'm not bothered about it.
So you can turn it from a 40 to 100-hour game.
You could do. But this is like, How Long to Beat says this only takes 12 hours. I'm like, yeah, does it fuck? Who finishes this game in 12 hours? Because you can't run around the city without getting into a massive fight every fucking 2 minutes. But the big set piece, massive fight at the end of the game was brilliant. I was like, I loved it. The fact of the characters you fight and the story was cool. So, yeah, no spoilers here, but it's worth
Thumbs
it.
up
If you like
isn't
those
it?
kind of games, then it's all right. It's pretty decent, and if you if you like those games, it's worth playing for sure. And like I say, it bridges that gap between Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth. So can't say the name again because it's too
long. Okay, Dave, you've still got one, and then I think Neil still got one.
Yeah. New game came out to Game Pass. Brotato.
This sounds like a game that I'd rather you play first.
You say potato, I say potato.
This is how do I describe it? It's like a Vampire Survivor, but without all the like moving around a map that's
all the good
like,
stuff.
massive. It's a really tiny arena. But you can have up to 6 weapons.
Do you not control the shooting at all?
No, you control
so it literally is
the
Vampire
movement.
Survivors.
It's
an ass game. I think it was assisted shooting survivor or something like that.
Right. With roguelike elements, because you were supposed to do, I'm not sure if there's like 20 rounds or something, but you do rounds. You pick up weapons and other items that enhance your skills. You can. There's various different types.
Are you
of
a potato?
You are a
You're
potato.
Brotato.
You're a brotato. You're a when you start the game, you're given a choice of what type of potato do you want to be. You can be
like
crazy
a new potato.
You can be lots of different. You can be a crazy potato that has better melee damage. You can be a ranger potato that has better shooting accuracy.
Do they name them by like actual potatoes, like Maris Pipers and King Edwards?
And then I don't think so. But there's like 50 or 60. I've unlocked like a couple. I've played about 4 or 5 games of this. It's really good. It's really simple. I haven't reached the end yet. Each of the different potatoes that you choose optimizes your build in a certain way. At the end of each of the rounds, you're given the option of how much you get. You pick up money off the floor, and you get. It's like a random roll of what items or weapons.
It really is a small arena, isn't it?
It is a small arena, yeah. But it's good. You know, it's there's lots of random stuff to it. Sometimes one of the games I played as a ranged character, or with a character with increased gunfire rate, and the first 4 or 5 different rounds I didn't actually get any opportunity to pick up a gun, so I kind of lost that one pretty quick. And then the next one, I chose a character that had better chance of, or more damage with melee weapons, and then like I got 4 or 5 weapons to start with, combined them, they're like ultra powerful, and I was just like shredding my way through the thing. So, and the more enemies you kill, the more cash you get. You can pick up additional extras and power ups and utilities. There's quite a lot of the game I don't really understand yet. There's some weapons with different abilities on them that I don't really know, and there's something about harvesting. I don't know if there's like trees that you've got to kill that you get items out of, and some of the potatoes have the ability to have you get more trees. So it's like you're gambling against other power ups to get more luck. I don't know, but it's good. It's very simple. Literally the games are like a couple of 5-10 minutes at the most.
I couldn't get it to work.
Who?
I downloaded it, but it wouldn't recognise my controller no matter what I did, which is quite annoying.
Did you turn it off and on again?
No. Well, I turned my controllers on and off again, but that didn't work.
No.
Well, you literally just need WASD.
Yeah, so I could just play it with mouse. We just you don't even need a mouse.
Just
other than to just for the menus.
apart from to pick some of the menus, no, you don't need it.
Right, okay.
But, yeah, it probably did recognise your controller and went, nah, you don't need it.
It was like, no, fuck off, you're not using that. That's a PlayStation controller.
Yeah. No, it's really good, really fun, really quick and easy to pick up. I'm sure there is lots of depth. And if you wanted to get all the power ups and all the potatoes, and I think you can, or you can just have a really quick, easy game. I think it's only single player. I didn't see any co-op or anything.
Have you been back to Vampire Survivors any time recently?
No.
That's had co-op added, isn't it?
That's had co-op added, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Never finished that game.
Nah. All right. Is that Brotato then?
That's Brotato.
Yeah.
Sounds
awesome. Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Neil.
Spoilers, I am playing.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
I don't know why. I was just flicking through. Obviously, I knew you'd got a PS5. So I just
my son was on the Bloodborne tip.
And you'd said...
Oh, that was another thing I meant to tell you, because I've been playing that Returnal. When I went into PlayStation to the store, it went, here's some games you might like. And it was like Demon Souls. Stuff.
You've not tried Demon Souls yet, then? Get on that before you run out of your PS Plus.
What I'm saying is it reaffirmed my thoughts that Returnal was fucking hard.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so I've been just at the PS5 one. I think I literally had a little while, and I was like, I don't want to go and play The Last of Us 2 because my son's going to be home from school in like half an hour, and I don't really want to be playing Last of Us 2 when he walks through the house. I don't know what's going to be happening. I haven't played it for a couple of weeks because I wanted to finish off Like a Dragon. And obviously my PlayStation is connected to my TV upstairs, which means when my wife's at home, I don't get to play on my PS5. And I don't really want to put it on any other TV because it looks so fucking good on my OLED TV. So I don't want to play it anywhere else. But yeah, I was flicking through the other day. Like I say, I had about half an hour before a second. I was like, what game can I play if my son walks in without fear? So I put Bloodborne on, which is grim as fuck. But he just basically ignored as he walked through the house, probably, because he's not good enough to play hard games like this. But yeah, I've been multiple times. I've played a bit of Bloodborne. I've got a save, and I go back to my save, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm fucking going. I really still haven't beat the first proper boss in this game, and I've had it I don't know how long, 10 years or whatever. But I did beat an optional boss, and I actually fought this boss. I was like, I'm going to fucking beat this boss because I had one go at it, and I died. I was like, It's like I feel like I could have beaten them. It's called the Cleric Beast. So it's the first optional boss you can get to, I think. So I went back in, and I beat that motherfucker. I was like, yeah. It's old school. Like, obviously, it's very different to Elden Ring. It's very different to Dark Souls. Because you obviously have a health replenishment mechanic in all of these games. In the Dark Souls games, you have the Estus Flask. And in Elden Ring, you have the thing that I can't remember right now. So
you don't have to remember it. The thing
that you chug to replenish your health. It's been a while since I played Elden Ring, even though I did 200 hours.
Mega pint.
It's a mega pint, yeah. Anyway, so in Bloodborne, you have blood vials, and you can have up to 20 blood vials at a time, to start with, at least. I don't know if you can expand that. But early on, I only had like 3 or 4. But I went to the merchant at the Bath Messenger, which is like some weird looking fucking decrepit thing in a bird bath, apparently. And you can buy blood vials. So I just banged it up to 20. I was like, fuck it, I'm spending all my blood echoes, which are like your souls equivalent in this game. I'm just going to buy 20 of them. So I can just chug health when I get hit. And yeah, 20 of them. That makes a big difference. This is like, I'm running around and I feel like I could just have fights and just like, I'll just replenish my health now before I Whereas I was only running on 3 or 4 previously, and just like, oh, I'm gonna be like creeping around, like trying not to get into too many scraps because I'm gonna just like fucking have no health left. And yeah, having 20 blood vials, I was like, fuck this guy, I'm gonna fucking get in there, smash him up with my big axe, and then I'll just chug some health. And yeah, I didn't realise that at all. I don't think. But
I
and
don't
then
remember.
when you kill enemies, sometimes they just drop your blood vials, and you're like just constantly replenishing this resource that you have to replenish your health. I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to get this game. I really wish they'd do a 60 frames per second mode on PS5 at least, because it's still running the PS4 code and it doesn't run amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it?
It doesn't look great. I know it's a bit old hat, but fuck me, this game needs a remaster because the game's good, but it runs a bit shit.
Yeah. I thought that. I was watching Stan play it, and I don't even remember it running that bad when I played it. I don't think on the PS4.
No, I don't think it runs on PS5 as well as it did on PS4.
No.
But the dark areas are so dark. I'm just like I'm fucking around with my TV. I was like, do I need to up the brightness on my TV? I forgot I had a torch. I could hold in my left hand to make things dark areas because it's been a long time since I played. But I just like I say, I keep dipping in back and forth every few years. But I think I might have a bit of a crack at this now.
I can't remember what, but see, I remember playing it. I had it on the PS4. I don't remember it breaking me. Like, I don't feel frustrated by that game. I don't have any sort of PTSD. And I don't mean to make light of PTSD, but I don't feel like I have any from playing it. I think I just thought it was a bit meh at the end of the day. I think. I don't remember being compelled to carry on with it. Whereas I remember things like Dark Souls broke me. I think it just broke me, right? Or Demon Souls or whatever.
Demon Souls is rock hard.
Demon Souls was the first one, wasn't it?
Demon Souls was, I don't know about the first one, but it was definitely like before Dark Souls. And that was rock hard on the PS3. But I played it when I didn't understand those games. I just kept dying. I was like, this game's stupid, and quit. But yeah, I might have a crack at Bloodborne now. I'm kind of like, oh, I've actually got a good amount. And I've got over the whole losing everything part of the games over the years. When you die and you lose your souls / echoes or whatever. I'm not too, doesn't bother me.
You're a veteran now, mate.
It doesn't bother me as much now. I'm just like, I'll probably just get them back fairly quickly. Unless you die after you've killed a boss and you've got fucking loads of them. That's annoying. But I don't know. That didn't happen in this game. I was just like, killed the boss, teleported back to the whatever place it's called, and uploaded up to a load of levels. I'm like, right, yeah, I feel a bit more powerful now. Let's go. So maybe I'll have a bit more of a crack at Bloodborne, or maybe I'll just never play it again for another year. Who knows? But it turns out it's quite good.
Yeah, I may. If I get to the end of Returnal, then I could see myself going for that Dark Souls remastered. I heard good things.
That's on sale at the minute. That's Dark Souls Remastered is on sale on PlayStation at the moment for half price.
But it's
I'll tell you what you might want to think about. Not you so much, but your boy. Is Sekiro's on half price. Although it might come to Game Pass because it's an Activision game technically.
Okay.
But Sekiro is awesome, but it's really hard.
Oh yeah. I don't know. He's got it in him to go at these games, so
yeah.
He beat that woman. What was her name in
Elden Ring? Melania.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember whether we mentioned that before.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Crazy. Oh, yes. Yeah. We talked about that.
All right. Okay. Well, if I'm not mistaken, do we have anything? That's it?
That is it.
All right. I'm just trying to sort out some food here.
I'm just trying to not wet myself.
What, for you and the dog?
For just me. Me and the dog, I guess, yeah. So. All right, okay. Well, before we just ramble on into oblivion here at the end, let's wrap it up. Dave, did you update your bit?
Just a little bit. I'll see if this works. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast.
He's
If you'd
so
like to ask
handsome
a
with his
question,
haircut,
get
isn't he?
involved.
Shut up! I need a pee.
I never mentioned it. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, if it still feels weird. I have had a number of comments saying how much younger I look this week.
Oh, mate,
Good
looks
stuff.
good. Looks good.
Ugh.
I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier.
Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask questions or get involved, please contact us either via email at sealpodcast@gmail.com. A link is pinned on Twitter, X, Discord, Podbean, and Twitch.
On YouTube.
We have and YouTube. Did I not say that? Oh, God's sake!
I know.
Hang on.
No, just get on.
we have YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to regularly. Nat, shout out to chat.
Lord, hello, Andy Cox, Arnie, and Mark. Thank you for joining us and commenting.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Yep. Thanks very much.
Thanks for the sub, Anonymous something. I did something. I can't remember what it said. And Arnie.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Much appreciated. Okay. All right. Well, we should be back next week as per usual. Until then, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll catch up with you later.
See you soon.
Bye.
Later.